Hey guys, Joe here, and this is now the 17th time I film this, so hopefully I can get through it without really rambling, so stop me if I do, okay? I'm trusting you. For those of you that don't know, I have a long history of physical damage and injuries. You can tell by the number of prescription bottles up there that I take multiple times per day that I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, but it affects me, my ability to make my videos, and it affects me on a personal level, mental level, depression level, things like that, and I thought I would take a few minutes and talk about that as well as give you the update. Quick update, I'm doing a lot better and I'm on my way to healing, so yay. The long story is, well, let's start with what's wrong with me. And I hope you guys got a few minutes. Starting up here, I have a condition called cluster headaches. It's idiosyncratic, meaning they don't know what actually causes it. I've had it since I was a teenager. 17, 18 was my first real attack with it. And of course, because why not win the lottery twice with one disorder, I have the worst version of it. Now, in a typical cluster headache sufferer, which again isn't typical, less than 0.1% of the population suffers from them, and I suffer from a version that less than 0.0001% of the population suffer from. But in a normal version of a cluster headache, you'll get 3 to 5 headaches, boom, 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 boom. They can vary from mildly annoying to migraines, and then you usually get some sort of period of time of relief, be it a few months, a few weeks, a few years, whatever the case may be. But in my situation, being super special like I am, I've had a headache since I was 17, 18 years old. His name is Henry. You don't hear him a lot, but sometimes he's in the back of my head. Like if you see me get frustrated at something, there's lots of things in this place that have dents in them from me punching them because I've been in that much pain. But yeah, I've had a couple of times where I've gone hours without a headache. And again, they're not super migraines all the time. They're just always there. It's always, pardon the pun, on my mind that I have a headache, and it sucks. And it gets to the point where sometimes I'll wake up without a headache, and I'll wonder what's wrong, and then it'll just start, and it'll be like, oh, there he is. So that's one of the big ones. Next thing wrong with me is I have collapsed vertebrae in my neck. C7 was the one that was original, and it feels like C6 has decided to join the party. And what that does is it causes nerve damage. So the outside of my arms on both sides, that's why I think it's actually collapsed bilaterally now. The outside of both my arms always feel like they're asleep. And if you've ever slept wrong on your arm, you'll know that tingly feeling. Always have that. Always have that. It also causes loss of dexterity. And I don't know if you can see it because of the way I'm holding my hand, but my muscles are always in a state of spasming. If I sit here still, you can actually watch my hands sit there and do this. So yeah, nerve damage is great. On top of that, I have a myelin sheath disorder where the lining of my myelin sheath around your nerves, it's your insulation for your nerves, is easily damaged, as well as it thins out. In the more I damage an area, the worse it is. It doesn't really grow back. So it's something where a couple of comedians have made this joke. You wake up and you're like, oh, that pain is new. I guess that's with me for the rest of my life. That's basically how I am. If I rest my arm on something for too long, I'll actually get pain, and you can see the redness that builds up in it, and it's really annoying. And a hard drive just spun up, so sorry, that distracted me for a second. On top of that, I'm non-responsive to opioids, so I can't take pain meds, or I can take them, but they don't do anything, so I pay hundreds of dollars for that. I'm allergic to steroids. I'm allergic to antibiotics, specifically penicillin, but most antibiotics give me, let's just say, tummy issues, RBS, runny butt syndrome, for those that want to be specific. And I have high blood pressure. Now, I've been in pain for so long that I'm acclimated to it. And anybody within reason can become acclimated to something the longer you deal with it. And that is the situation with me. I'm not the kind of person that sits here and just says, oh, I'm hurt, ow, wah, wah, wah. And nothing against people that are even worse off than me, which is possible. because I can still force myself to work my way through it. But in 2017, it did cause some depression and a moment of, well, it didn't go well. So that's all I need to say about that. You can search the channel. I left the video up explaining what happened or what my thinking was. I'm not going to go into that here. But since then, I've been a little bit more active in trying to prevent damage and prevent myself from hurting, and it's worked quite a bit. And yeah, so I'm in a much better place, like brain-wise, in terms of mental health. So that's something you should never take for granted. If you're ever feeling down or anything like that, talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to a stranger, go to a bar, just hang out with your friends, do something, call somebody, message me, I'll talk to you, I'll listen to you. Even if you just want to vent, just message me. Off that horse. I have lung problems. I had asthma as a child. I get sick very easily. I get lung infections, bronchitis, things like that very easily. So this wonderful pandemic we've been going through has been wunderbar for me, because it's caused me to not go to Harrisonburg at all, because in Virginia, Harrisonburg and Alexandria were two of the biggest spots that were, getting it. So obviously I wasn't doing that. And again, because I can't take things to counteract a lot of those problems, they are exacerbated, and a lung infection for me could take weeks to clear itself up. So yeah, on top of all that, because of the surgery in mid-July, where I got split open like a semi-raw steak, I've been a lot more sedentary than usual. So I've been sitting in chairs or in bed and scooting around on my chair, and that has caused me to put on some weight. For those of you that are interested, I'm not going to put the pictures up here, but here's a description of it. Imagine you stepped on a chainsaw, and then you started the chainsaw, but didn't lift up your foot. And then you squeezed the control to engage the chain. And you'll understand what I was dealing with. It was a 14 centimeter long incision, or wound track, excuse me, I'm very tired. For Americans, that would be like 2 tacos end to end. And the width of the wound channel was 6 centimeters. And again, for you Americans, like myself, obviously, you can tell by the fact that I don't have an accent yet, that would be like a really good French fry from McDonald's, one of those long ones. So basically, my foot was, and that's been healing. 2 months on, it's almost healed. Thank you for asking, and hopefully that will heal soon. But because of that, I put on roughly 20-ish pounds. I don't weigh myself a lot, typically only when I go in for surgeries or doctor visits, which are more frequently than I'd like to admit. And a lot of it comes down to my being allergic to antibiotics and causing me to bloat and pain and not go out and do things. And yeah, so all in all, it's been a very bad thing. So I'm a big dude, no getting around that. I'm 6'4", so I'm a tall guy, and I'll weigh around 225 pounds, 220, 230. I fluctuate in there. Right now I'm 245-ish pounds. It's been a day, so who knows if I put on or lost a couple of pounds, because I can drop weight that quickly. But I don't like the trend of putting on weight, and I'm not one of those guys that would ever fat shame anybody or say that you have to be skinny to be mentally healthy. But for me, if you look, you'll see I have stretch marks. I was well over 300 pounds at one point in my life, and I don't want to see myself get big again. For me personally, I'm uncomfortable being that heavy. And when I go to the doctor's office and they're like, oh, you put on 7 more pounds, and it makes me depressed. So I need to fight that. In the meantime, I've been building computers and doing things like that. But of course, when you have something set you back, like I had that computer fail on me after I built it, and I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that, it kind of makes you, not want to do things, and then you want to be more sedentary, and then you start snacking, and then you start not doing things again. So overall, my attitude, while has been mostly positive, has taken a couple of hits in the last few weeks, and and you've seen that in the video. Like, I'll miss a Thursday and put up on Friday, or I'll miss a Thursday and put up on Saturday, or I've missed one of my uploads completely, and I do apologize for that. It's never my intention to miss an upload, and I try not to do that. So as I'm working on my noggin up here, I will try to focus more on getting things done. Building that computer was supposed to be a big step in that direction because it was a complete redo of my system, and yeah, I almost killed it the day after I built it because I'm an idiot, and you'll see that in the video I make on it. So that caused me to not be happy. But today, as I'm filming this before I go to bed here, I'm doing well. I'm dealing with the physical as I have for years, and hopefully as my foot continues to heal, I'll be able to start working out again. And if I can do that, then I'll give you, once a month or once a week, if the transformation goes that quickly, updates to let you know where I am. So yeah, that's about it. Again, if you're needing somebody to talk to, message me. I'll have conversations with you, no problem. Email me, things like that. Be happy to hear from you. Let me know what you guys are going through, what you guys are doing to keep yourselves healthy during the wonderful lockdown period we had, plus the social distancing we're still experiencing, and all the fun stuff. And I just want to hear from you guys. Tell me you guys are doing good, because that makes me feel better. So that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to bed and then continue working on that tomorrow. So till next time, we'll talk to you later.